Stop scrolling. Yes, you don't click away, because what I'm about to share with you might sound unbelievable at first. But if you try it tonight before you sleep, the universe will not let you rest the same way again. Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding out the energy you spoke into existence has already started rearranging things for you. People call it luck, but really it is power, your power. And here is the simple truth most of us miss at night. We tuck in our worries instead of ourselves, bills, regrets, failed tries, sharp words, old heartbreaks. We pull the blanket over fear and lie there listening to the noise in our own heads. No wonder we wake up heavy. But tonight does not have to end like last night. Not for you. Maybe you are on your phone now because your mind will not turn off. You replay the moment you wish you handled better. You think of the thing you have not fixed yet. It feels like life hands wins to everyone else first. I get it. I know the feeling of pouring out energy all day and then staring at the ceiling, asking when is it my turn. That is why this moment matters. The last words before sleep are not small. They are a key. The real challenge is not that you are lazy, unlucky, or broken. The challenge is that most people go to bed with mental trash and expect to wake up in a mansion of peace. That is like planting weeds and hoping for roses. It does not work. Your subconscious is the gatekeeper of tomorrow. It listens with wide open ears right before you drift off. Scientists give that soft doorway a name, but you do not need the label to use it. Think of it as the most open window of the day. What you speak there becomes the script your next day reads from. This is not a new idea. It is old and solid. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Job 22:28 says, "You decree a thing, and it is established for you." Isaiah 55:11 says, "A spoken word does not return empty, but does the thing it was sent to do." These are not heavy church words. They are working laws, and they match what your own nights have taught you. When you fall asleep mumbling defeat, the morning often brings more of the same. When you fall asleep in calm trust, doors seem to open smoother. The path feels less crowded. Here is how Florence Scovel Shinn put the heart of it in simple form. God is source. Channels change. That means your paycheck, your client, your sale, your friend, your plan are channels. They can rise, fall, pause, and shift. But supply itself comes from God and does not run out. Under grace and in perfect ways is the posture. This takes the strain out of your chest. It lets you stop gripping so hard. Because your job at night is not to fix 10 problems. Your job is to hand them to Source and speak clean words that give your tomorrow a shape. Let me paint this in plain pictures. A mother waits for money and feels the pinch. She falls asleep, repeating that everything is late and nothing works for her. Morning comes, and her eyes are already tired before she lifts her head. Now watch the shift. The same woman turns off the noise. She breathes. She forgives the day. She says in a calm voice that supply flows to her from the right place at the right time and in the right way. She is not begging. She is placing an order. She sleeps. In the morning, she wakes with a small idea that leads to a simple call that leads to the help she needed. A seed moved under the ground while she rested. A man carries heartbreak. At night, he repeats that he is unlovable. By morning, the world looks gray. Now watch the change. He lays down and speaks that he is guided, that his heart is kept, that new doors are being prepared. He is not pretending he feels no pain. He is giving pain a stronger frame. Matthew 7:7 teaches to ask and receive. He is asking with his words and his rest. He sleeps. The next day, he feels one shade lighter. He answers a message he would have ignored. A gentle thread starts to form. A student worries about exams and the future. Every night the mind races. Sleep is thin. The student tries something simple. Before sleep, one breath, a short release of the day, a line about wisdom and favor. James 1:5 teaches that if you need wisdom, ask for it, and it is given. The student sleeps. The next day brings focus that was missing. Not magic fog, real focus. Less noise, better choices. You do not need to force this. You do not need perfect belief. You need a clean decision to stop feeding the night with junk and start feeding it with life. Think of it like gently turning the wheel of a boat. A small shift now becomes a different shore later. When the last words at night line up with life, the morning has something strong to build on. You may ask if it is really that simple. Say better words, feel better, wake to better paths. Here is the honest answer. Some shifts come fast. You wake with a clear idea. You run into a person you needed to meet. You feel lighter in your own skin. Other shifts grow slow like roots, but growing is still growing. Seeds work in the dark before you ever see the green. Your part is to keep planting the right seed at the right time. The right time is the last few minutes before sleep. The right seed is your word. If the term universe feels big and vague, bring it close. Call on God like a father who knows the path. Psalm 4:8 says, "You lie down and sleep in peace, because the Lord makes you dwell in safety." That is the night posture. Rest is not a reward you must earn by solving everything. Rest is a gift and a gate. When you rest in trust, the heart stops bracing for impact, and the mind stops rehearsing fear. Then your word can land and take root. Tonight you will not tuck in your worries. You will tuck in your faith. Not loud, not dramatic, simple, a breath, a sentence, a small smile. You will place your order under grace and let the delivery time be handled for you. The room does not need to be silent. The world does not need to be perfect. You only need to choose the voice that leads you into sleep. Stay with me. In a moment, we will shape the exact words. But first, let your heart agree with this picture. Your nights are sacred ground. They are the garden where tomorrow's peace is planted, and your tongue is the gardener's hand. Look at tonight with new eyes. Nothing in the room has moved, yet something already shifted. You are no longer tucking in fear. You are choosing a new script. The smallest change is often the strongest one because it starts at the root. The root of your tomorrow is not the alarm clock, not the calendar, not even the people around you. The root is the word that goes into your heart right before you sleep. Think of the mind before sleep like a quiet doorway. All day long the world is loud, but this doorway is soft. It lets truth walk in without being shoved. That is why the last words matter. Your subconscious is the gatekeeper of what grows. It does not argue. It does not run long trials. It saves the command and carries it through the night. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." That is not poetry for good days. It is instruction for dark hours. When you lie down, your mouth is the switch. You turn tomorrow toward life or toward more of the same. This is the same pattern you see across Scripture. Job 22:28 says you will decree a thing and it will be established for you. A decree is not a wish. It is a settled sentence. It is said once with a steady heart. Isaiah 55:11 says the word sent out does not come back empty, but does the work it was sent to do. When your last words line up with peace and provision, you are sending out workers who know their jobs. They do not wander. They do not forget the assignment. Now bring in the light that Florence Scovel Shinn kept simple. God is source. Channels change. If your income, your plan, or your helper were the source, you would panic every time a channel moved. But if God is source, you can sleep. You still make calls and act in the day, but you rest inside. Divine supply is not a tiny pond that runs dry. It is a river. When one bank shifts, the water finds another path. Under grace and in perfect ways is how that river moves. Your part is to stop damming the flow with fearful words and start opening the gate with clean ones. Mark 11:24 teaches a clear pairing. When you pray, believe that you receive, and you shall have. That means the feeling is not an afterthought. It is part of the order. You do not wait for proof to feel safe. You practice the feeling of safe while you speak. You let your breath soften. You let your chest loosen. You picture one simple next step landing in your lap at the right time. This is not pretending, it is training. Athletes rehearse the lift before the lift. Singers hear the note before the note. You are doing the same with rest and provision. Many people say they cannot help what they say at night because their thoughts are too loud. Philippians 4:6-7 gives you the answer. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything, with prayer and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God will guard your heart and mind. Peace is not only a prize, it is a guard. When you bring your request and your thanks, peace stands at the door and keeps watch while you sleep. Psalm 4:8 paints the picture even simpler. You lie down and sleep in peace, for the Lord makes you dwell in safety. This is why the night is not a place to bargain. It is a place to hand things over. Maybe you think you have already tried to be positive at night and nothing changed. Listen closer. Night words are not about fancy lines. They are about alignment. If during the day you say there is never enough, and at night you mumble a quick good thing with no heart in it, your system is split. The goal is not to recite many sentences. The goal is to make one sentence honest and steady. Even a child can do that. Even a tired heart can do that. One line spoken with trust is worth more than 20 lines spoken with fear. Picture a small order desk that opens every night. You place your order there. The form is simple. First, release what is not yours to carry into sleep. Second, declare what is true about God as source and about the path prepared for you. Third, rest as if the order is confirmed. In the morning you will move your feet. At night you move your words. Both matter, and they do not fight each other. Here is a gentle example to make it real. A shop owner watches sales drop. At night, he starts to say that no one wants what he offers. He sleeps in dread. The next day, he misses a small message from a customer because his mind is foggy. Now watch the same man with a new frame. He ends the day saying that wisdom guides him to serve the right people, that fresh channels appear, that his hands are blessed to create value. He sleeps. In the morning, he sees that message. He answers with calm, offers a simple bundle, and the door opens. The night did not do the work for him. The night set his heart so he could do the work without choking it. Keep your language, child, simple. Keep your belief honest. If you have trouble believing a big sentence, use a smaller one that you can stand on without shaking. God is with me as I sleep. I wake guided. Provision finds me in right ways. These lines are not magic spells. They are steering wheels. They turn the inner boat so the outer path can line up. The more you practice, the less you will chase feelings, and the more feelings will follow your practice. That is the quiet law. Do not rush it. Do not grade yourself. Plant, water, rest, words, breath, sleep. Day by day, the inner ground firms up. And when it does, you will notice that decisions take less effort, answers come sooner, and setbacks do not throw you across the room. You become steady. Steady people receive well. Hold this picture close as the night comes again. The doorway is soft. The gatekeeper is listening. The source is not thin. The word is law. In a moment, we will shape the exact lines you can say with ease. For now, let your shoulders drop. Let the hard day roll off like rain from a roof. You are learning to place your order well, and tomorrow will have something better to build on. You asked for the exact lines. Here they are, simple enough for a child. strong enough to steer a life. Keep the flow you learned. You do not tuck in fear, you tuck in faith. Think of this as one quiet minute at the doorway of sleep. First you clear, then you command, then you receive. No rush, no struggle, just a clean order placed with trust. Begin with release. Take one easy breath in, one soft breath out. Say with a steady heart that you hand the weight of this day to God. You forgive yourself for what you did not finish. You forgive others for what did not go right. You let the tightness in your chest melt like ice in warm water. Cast your cares, because He cares for you, is the way Peter writes it. Psalm 4:8 paints the picture of lying down and sleeping in peace, because the Lord makes you dwell in safety. When you release, you stop wrestling with shadows. You step out of the ring and let peace guard the door, like Philippians 4:7 promises. Now you speak the command. This is where Job 22:28 stands like a road sign. You decree a thing, and it is established. Keep the words short and plain. 1 or 2 lines are enough. You are not begging. You are not bargaining. You are setting the direction. Use the Florence frame that keeps it clean. God is source. Channels change. Divine substance cannot be depleted. Under grace and in perfect ways. If money is the pinch, say that supply flows from God through right channels, at the right time and in the right way. If guidance is the need, say that wisdom rises in you and the next step is shown with ease. If a door feels closed, say that fitting doors open and unfitting ones stay shut, so you are kept on a prepared path. Isaiah 55:11 says the word you send does not come back empty. It does the work you sent it to do. Let the feeling match the words. This is the receive. Mark 11:24 ties prayer and receiving in one knot. When you pray, believe you receive, and you shall have. Believing looks like a loosened jaw and a slower breath. It looks like a tiny smile you do not force. It sounds like a thank you whispered before proof. It feels like sitting in a chair you trust will hold you. You do not push feelings to be big. You let them be honest and warm. 1 degree of peace is enough to open the gate. Here is a simple 1-minute map you can follow now and every night. For 20 seconds, release. Name the weight and hand it over. Father, this belongs with you, not in my pillow. For 20 seconds, command. 1 or 2 sentences spoken once, slow and clear. God is my source. Channels may change, but supply does not. I decree ordered steps and easy provision under grace and in perfect ways. For 20 seconds, receive. Breathe as if the order is confirmed. Feel the next day meeting you kindly. Whisper thanks, then stop. Isaiah says the word runs to do its work. You do not need to chase it down the hallway. If your mind tries to argue, make the sentence smaller until your heart can stand on it without shaking. God is with me as I sleep. I wake guided. Provision finds me in right ways. A child can say that and mean it. You can too. Remember, this is not a spell. It is alignment. You are lining up your inner world with what God already promised. Proverbs 18:21 says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Tonight, you are choosing life on purpose. Let us make it practical with quick scenes. A woman closing her eyes with unpaid bills on the table wants to say that nothing ever works for her. She chooses a better line. She releases the fear of deadlines. She commands that fresh channels open, that she is led to simple steps, that divine substance cannot be depleted. She receives by resting, like the answer is already in motion. Deuteronomy 8:18 reminds her that God gives power to get wealth, not panic to chase it. She sleeps. In the morning, a small idea rises to bundle her service and email 3 people. 1 responds. The door moves. A man fears tomorrow's meeting. He releases the urge to rehearse perfect replies. He commands a calm tongue and clear favor with the right people. He receives by picturing himself walking into the room with a steady breath and a steady eye. He rests because Psalm 23 says the shepherd provides, which means he does not stand in the valley alone. He sleeps. The next day, words come when needed, and silence sits where noise would have ruined the moment. A student feels lost about the future. She releases the storm of 10 paths. She commands wisdom for one next step and peace to carry it out. She receives by letting the picture be small and doable. One call, one page, one email. James 1:5 says wisdom is given when asked without doubting. She lets that promise be the floor under her feet. She sleeps. Focus returns like a friend. As you practice, keep the Florence rule that protects the harvest. Speak once and do not contradict. In the day you act with common sense. In the night, you do not dig up the seed to check on it. If worry comes back while you are drifting off, do not scold yourself. Breathe, release again, and return to the single line. The goal is not perfect silence. The goal is a clear leading voice. There are common slips you will learn to avoid without shame. Saying 10 different sentences every night because you fear the first one was not good enough. Whispering a good line and then canceling it with 5 minutes of complaint. Demanding a timeline instead of trusting under grace and in perfect ways. You will notice these habits and smile at them like old neighbors you no longer invite in. Steadiness is the true strength. A steady one-line decree is a quiet hammer shaping stone. Let your body help your words. Lie on your back or your side with your shoulders soft. Rest your hands where your belly can rise and fall under them. Feel the breath move. This keeps the mind from grabbing old loops. If a picture helps you, imagine placing a small order card into a mail slot labeled God is Source. The card goes in. The work begins. You do not chase the mail truck down the street. End the minute with thanks. Not dramatic, just plain. Thank you for ordered steps. Thank you for right supply. Thank you for keeping me while I sleep. Gratitude is not decoration. It is proof that you trust the giver more than the gift. It keeps the heart open when results take their time. You are ready. Tonight the doorway is soft again. The gatekeeper listens. The source is not thin. The word you speak is not empty. In the next part, I will talk you through a gentle pray, along you can follow line by line, so the 1-minute ritual becomes the easiest thing you do all day. Settle your body. Let your shoulders drop. Place your phone where you will not need it. Close your eyes or lower your gaze. Breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out like you are fogging a window. Feel the room become quieter, even if sounds remain. You are stepping through a soft doorway. Your heart knows this place. Begin with release. Say in a calm voice that the weight of this day does not belong in your pillow. Name what tries to follow you into sleep and hand it over to God. If faces or moments come up, bless them and let them pass like clouds. You are not pushing anything away. You are letting it land where it can be held. Philippians 4 reminds you that when requests and thanks are brought to God, peace stands guard over heart and mind. Picture that guard taking his post now. Breathe once more and let your jaw loosen. Rest is starting. Now speak your simple decree. Keep it short and steady, so even a child could say it with you. God is source. Channels may change, but supply does not. I decree ordered steps and right provision under grace and in perfect ways. Do not rush. You are not trying to convince the sky. You are setting direction. Job 22 teaches that a decree becomes established. Isaiah 55 teaches that a word sent on assignment does its work and does not return empty. Let these laws work while you sleep. Bring your feeling in line with your words. Picture how a trusted chair feels when you sit. That is the feeling you are practicing now. Mark 11 teaches that when you pray, you believe you receive, and you shall have. Believing is not noise. It is a relaxed chest, a quiet thank you, a sense that the next step is already being prepared for you. Whisper a small thanks. It can be as plain as thank you for guiding me as I sleep and as I wake. If you are facing lack, let the decree meet it without strain. Say that divine substance cannot be depleted, that fresh channels open at the right time, that you are led to act with clarity in the morning. If you are facing confusion, say that wisdom rises in you and steadies your choices, that your path is lit for one clear next step. James 1 promises wisdom when asked. If you are facing fear, say that perfect love keeps you, and that you lie down and sleep in peace, because the Lord makes you dwell in safety, the way Psalm 4 paints it. Keep each line slow enough to feel true. This is not performance, this is alignment. Let us move through 1 minute together. Breathe in and let the day fall from your shoulders. Exhale and say that what you cannot carry is now in God's hands. Breathe in and feel the bed hold your weight. Exhale and speak your decree. God is my source. Channels may change, but supply does not. I decree ordered steps, easy favor, and right provision under grace and in perfect ways. Breathe in and picture the smallest next step landing before you tomorrow. Exhale and give thanks like the order is already confirmed. Stop there. Let the word go do its work. If your mind tries to pull you back into loops, smile at it like an eager puppy and return to one safe line. God is with me as I sleep. I wake guided. Repeat it once, not 10 times. Proverbs 18 teaches that life and death sit in the power of the tongue. So choose life and then rest. You are not digging up the seed to check on it. You are watering it with quiet. Here is a gentle scene to anchor the practice. You turn the screen face down. The room is a little dark. Your hands rest on your belly so you can feel the breath move. You name the weight of the day and hand it over. You say your clean line, not many lines. You picture a door you do not need to force and see it opening in the right way. You thank God and let silence take the lead. Nothing flashy, only steady. If money is tight, do not bargain in the dark. Deuteronomy 8 reminds you that God gives power to get wealth, not panic to chase it. Tonight, power looks like a rested mind and a mouth that plants peace. If a relationship aches, do not rehearse what you wish you had said. Ask for a guarded tongue and a soft spirit, and decree that you walk in favor with the right people at the right time. If your future looks foggy, ask for one next step rather than 10. Matthew 7 teaches ask and receive. Ask simply, receive quietly, sleep deeply. Let the Florence frame keep your soul unclenched. God is source. Channels change, under grace and in perfect ways. This frame turns down the inner volume so you can sleep. It also keeps you from grabbing the wheel in the morning and canceling your night words with fear. When you wake, you will act like someone already guided. You will make the call, send the message, do the small task. Night words and day actions do not compete. They complete each other. If you want a little longer, pray along. Follow this flow for a few minutes. Breathe and release. Forgive yourself for what stayed undone. Forgive others for where things snagged. Bless the work of your hands and the ground you walk on. Say your decree in the most child-simple way you can stand without shaking. Rest in the feeling of already received. Thank God. Then be quiet. Let the quiet be the envelope that carries your word. When the old lines return and tell you nothing changes, remember the hidden work of seeds. They split in the dark before anything green is seen. Nights are where roots grow. Your spirit knows this rhythm already. Keep the practice simple so you keep it. A small sentence spoken once every night will outwork a complicated routine that fades after 3 days. As you drift, Let Psalm 23 color your last thoughts. The Lord is your shepherd, which means provision and guidance are personal, not distant. He leads you beside still waters, which means rest is not a luxury, it is part of the path. He restores your soul, which means even the pieces that feel worn will be renewed. Hold that picture like a light in your pocket. You do not need to stare at it, just know it is there. Now let your breathing find its own slow pace. Let your shoulders feel heavy in a good way. Let your tongue rest behind your teeth. Your decree is spoken, your heart is guarded, your source is steady. The work assigned to your word is already underway. Sleep as someone kept, wake as someone guided. And remember this simple law when morning comes. Speak life, act simply, walk under grace. The work you did at night is planted. Now you seal it. A seal is what says finished and protected. It is also what says, this belongs to me. When you wake, you do not go hunting for proof. You carry identity, and identity carries you. Florence kept it simple. God is source. Channels change, under grace and in perfect ways. If you hold that frame at dawn, your feet will match your words from the night. You will not dig up the seed you just planted. You will water it with a steady morning. Begin with a soft waking. Before the rush and the scroll, place a hand on your chest and breathe once with attention. Say a plain thank you to the one who kept you in the night. Psalm 4 says, "You lie down and sleep in peace, because the Lord makes you dwell in safety." Lamentation 3 says mercy is new every morning. Let that be the feel in your first breath. You are not starting from empty, you are starting from kept. Now speak your identity oath. Make it child simple, so your heart can stand on it without shaking. I am guided today. I walk in prepared paths. Provision meets me in right ways. If money is where fear jumps, add the Florence line right here. God is my source. Channels may change, but supply does not. Deuteronomy 8 says God gives power to get wealth. Power looks like a calm mind, wise hands, and a mouth that does not cancel last night's decree. Proverbs 3 says trust in the Lord with all your heart, and He will make your paths straight. When you choose one clear line at dawn, your steps start to match the path that has already been made straight for you. Keep the morning short, warm, and real. You do not need 20 lines. 2 lines you believe are better than a page you do not mean. This is what Jesus points to in Mark 11 when He ties prayer and receiving in one knot. When you pray, believe you receive, and you shall have. Believing shows up as small choices. You send the email you were afraid to send. You speak kindly where you would have snapped. You bring your simple offering to the day and stop judging yourself before the fruit appears. Isaiah 50 says the word runs to do its work. Let it run while you move your feet. Give yourself a tiny noon reset. It can be 30 seconds. Step away from the noise, breathe once, and repeat the same line you used in the morning. I am guided. I walk in prepared paths. Provision meets me in right ways. This keeps your inner boat pointed where you set it. Romans 12 says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Renewal is not a one-time event. It is a daily rhythm. You are not making a show. You are staying in alignment. In the late afternoon, when tiredness tries to pull you back into old loops, practice one more small turn. Bless the work of your hands out loud. Bless the people you serve. Bless the channels that are working and the ones that are being replaced. Job 22 says you will decree a thing, and it will be established for you. Establish is a strong word. It means set it in place. Your mouth sets things in place. Proverbs 18 says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Choose life again and again, briefly and simply, so you do not wear yourself out with performance. If a door closes, do not panic. Doors are channels. Source is steady. Thank God for the closed door, if it is not your fit, and ask for a fitting door. Matthew 7 says, ask and receive. James 1 says, if you lack wisdom, ask, and it will be given. Wisdom often looks like one clear next step, not a 5-year map. Take the one step. Let the next light appear after you move. When night returns, you do not start over in fear. You return to what works because it is a law, not a mood. Release the day. Speak the clean line once. Receive and sleep. Repeat. This is how a new inner climate is made. Seeds sprout. Roots deepen. Shoots appear. Some days you will notice quick fruit. Other days you will carry the quiet trust that roots are working. Both are progress. Both are proof that your word is not empty. Isaiah 55 says the word does not return void. Your job is not to make the word work. Your job is to send it and refuse to drag it back with worry. Here is a simple morning picture you can keep. You open your eyes. You do not reach for the noise. You place your hand on your chest. You breathe once. You say thank you. You say your one line. You picture one next step landing into your day. You stand up and do that step. If fear tries to flood, you shrink the line until your heart can believe it. God is with me as I move. I am guided. Provision finds me in right ways. You do not argue with fear. You out-practice it. Let Psalm 23 sit under your day like a soft floor. The Lord is your shepherd. He leads you. He restores your soul. He prepares a table before you, even when the world looks sharp. This is why you can hold your head up without forcing a smile. You are not alone in the valley. You are escorted through it. That is what under grace and in perfect ways feels like in the body. It feels like a jaw that is not clenched and a step that does not rush. You will change in quiet ways first. You will notice you wake a little earlier without dread. You will notice you answer messages with less panic. You will notice you are not begging the day to be kind. You are opening the door for kindness with the words you speak and the small moves you make. People will call it luck. You will smile because you know it is alignment. God is source. Channels change. The word you speak at the doorway of sleep and the word you speak at the doorway of morning are shaping the path you walk. If this message spoke to you, hit that like button so the algorithm knows it. Subscribe so you never miss these short but powerful doses of inspiration. And share this with someone who needs a reminder that they are not powerless. You have everything it takes to turn your nights into the most magical, creative, and life-changing part of your day. So go ahead, say it before you sleep. Then rest like a king or queen and let the universe shock you. Until next time, remember your words. Create your world. Use them wisely. Good night and watch the magic unfold.